Welcome to Campus Chat, a look at the people, the opportunities, programs, and happenings at Western Nevada College. Campus Chat is made possible by the Western Nevada College Foundation.
Hello and welcome to Campus Chat. My name is Helaine Morris, and this is the show about the people and programs and friends today of Western Nevada College. We're out in the beautiful Rotary Plaza in between the Bristlecone and Aspen buildings on the Carson campus. So if you see an occasional student walk by or hear some sounds, that's what it is. We're out in the beautiful plaza, and it's a beautiful day here in Carson City. And there is a wonderful mythical law of nature that the three things we crave most in life are happiness, freedom, and peace of mind. And we can help attain that for ourselves by giving away those things, and in giving we receive. And today's show is about giving and the wonderful people who bless our lives each day by giving to Western Nevada College. And we're just so pleased to have with us several guests today that who have chosen to make Western Nevada College their recipient for their donation. And we're just really grateful. And our first guest today is Kimberly Fitzpatrick.
That's okay.
You know, that's an easy name. That's a common name, isn't it? To mess up on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But welcome, and you go by Kimmy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Thank you.
Kimmy is a critical care nurse at the Veterans Hospital in Reno, and she is also president of the newly formed Great Basin Chapter of the American Association of Critical Care Nurses. And so it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Very much.
So let's get to know you a little bit first. Why did you become a nurse? What led you to that?
Well, I was thinking about that and on the way down here, and the only thing I can tell you is my mom has photos of me in a little nursing uniform at age 8 and 9. So I guess it was just the only thing that I ever thought about doing. So it's just...
You had a calling, huh?
Well, I like people. I love people. And I love people to help them feel better. That's what I want to do, is make them feel better.
Oh, that's great. What led you to critical care nursing? Because that's a different type of specialty, isn't it?
It is. It's very... it takes a special type of person that can do critical care nursing because there's a lot of intensity, a lot of death that you have to deal with. You know, a lot of people go to work every day and you know, just go through their lives. But, you know, sometimes we go to work and we have to deal with people losing the most important person in their lives. So it's a stressful type of thing, but I've always said that I'm kind of like a little adrenaline junkie, so I think that's why I've gone to critical care nursing.
So critical care nursing is different than emergency medicine or ICU. How? Or is it?
No, it is. It's ICU nursing, ICU, MICU, medical intensive care.
Okay.
A lot of facilities have a surgical intensive care. The cardiac surgery units are all enveloped in critical care nursing. ER nursing and ICU nursing are both critical care nursing areas, but ER nursing is a little bit more specialized because you usually have a big variety of range of patients.
Right.
Yeah,
I've heard that an emergency room doctor is the first hour of every specialist.
Absolutely.
So you're working right now at the Veterans Hospital?
Working at the Veterans, and I also work at St. Mary's, too.
Oh, okay. And at critical care nursing in both operations?
Right.
That's great. So is there additional training required?
You have to go through an orientation, a critical care orientation, before you're hired in to an ICU or a CCU or a CSU. And then you have to keep up every year. You have to have different classes about the newest drugs that are being used. There's a lot of autonomy in the critical care arena, so you really have to keep up on the newest therapies and medications and that type of things that are used in critical care.
I imagine. Now, I read a little bit about the American Association of Critical Care Nurses, and it was established in 1969. And can you tell me a little more about that?
AACN was formed because we are a special breed of nurses. We have things that we deal with that maybe a surgical nurse doesn't deal with, or a nurse on oncology or something like that. So we, the AACN got together and said, we need to provide a support group for these groups of nurses. If you're a member of AACN, they provide free continuing education units, free subscriptions to critical care journals and magazines, and all in the hope that you keep up to date on newest therapies and medications that are needed in
that's good.
ICU.
Good to know. And so then the Great Basin Chapter developed after that, and so that's just newly formed, 2010?
Yes, ma'am. We had a chapter in the Reno-Sparks area, and then it was disbanded. So a group of coworkers and I at the VA felt that it was really necessary to have a support group, an area where critical care nurses can go together and network and discuss about, how do you deal with this? How do you deal with this situation? And that all is very important for us to have that support group and networking arena that's
and that
available.
help, and to know that you share some of the same challenges.
Exactly.
How many members do you have now in your Great Basin Chapter?
Right now we have 33. And we're
great.
very excited because we actually started in October of 2009. So we're almost a year old. We're really excited about that.
Great.
And we're happy. We went to NTI in Washington, D.C. in May. National Teaching Institute. And it has all of the latest education out there for critical care nurses. And you go there for a week in Washington, D.C., bond with critical care nurses from all over the country. It was just a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Well, this year I'm happy to announce that the Great Basin Chapter of the ACCN awarded their first ever WNC Nursing Scholarship for it's a student who's accepted into our nursing program who is a single parent and plans to enter one of the critical care fields we've been talking about. And so what led your chapter to establish the scholarship?
Well, our vice president, Barbara Day, she is just marvelous. And I was talking to her over coffee, and I said, Barbara, I'd love to give some of the money that we have raised to a nursing student. I mean, it's so difficult now to get the funds to better yourself, better your family, and to get into nursing. So she says, well, I have just people for you to talk to.
That's great.
So anyway, we're just very, very thrilled that we were able to help this family out, help this young lady out, and we just wish her the best.
Right. Barbara Day graduated from our nursing program in 2005, and she received the Al Lane Scholarship then, and since then she started the Day Family Scholarship and has been giving back since I think she graduated, and she's given scholarships to 8 nursing students, so we're very proud about that. We also are proud to say we have a really good pass rate for our nursing class.
Great.
Yeah, 96%.
Wow.
And so any
Wonderful.
kind of scholarship like you're giving to us, this is great. So, have you met your student yet, or are you coming to the scholarship reception?
I am.
Good.
And there'll be several members of the chapter there. We're all real excited. We had a committee to select the recipients, so the ladies that are on that committee want to come, and we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, on behalf of the college and Sandy Richmond, who coordinates all the scholarships here, she does a great job. We'd like to thank the Great Basin Chapter and you for all your support, because it really does make a big difference. And if you would like more information on the Great Basin Chapter of the Association of Critical Care Nurses, please call 842-2362, and I think our great videographer will have the Yes, he's nodding yes. And that means probably right there, the Great Basin HACN@gmail.com, and they're located in Sparks, but please call them if you're interested in joining. And Kimmy, thank you so much for being here today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Stay with us. We'll be right back with Campus Chat. Welcome back to Campus Chat. My name is Helaine Morris, and the theme today is about giving and giving back. And I'm so pleased to have with me Paul Eastwood, who is the Professor of Machine Tool Technology here at Western Nevada College, and sitting next to him is Kathryn Clark-Ross, who works in the Financial Aid Office. But why they're here today is Paul is the chairman of the Employee Giving Committee at Western Nevada, and Kathryn's been on the committee since the beginning, and so welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're really fortunate here at WNC in that we have a wonderful spirit of giving, and even with the people going on furloughs, getting hours cut, expanded sections of classes, they still choose to give through their paycheck on a monthly basis. And so there's a great quote by Maya Angelou that says, "When you learn, teach, and when you get, give." And I think you two are really good examples of that. So thank you for being here. So, Paul, you've been the chair of the committee for how long? You don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I have a tough time. What happened 2 weeks ago? So I'm going to guess maybe two years.
Yeah, 3 years, I think.
3 years? Okay.
2 years, probably, huh?
2 or 3. I know I've been on the committee about 4 or 5.
Yeah. 5 years.
Yeah.
But you seem to enjoy it, and you do a really good job. So why do you do it?
I enjoy talking to people, number one. It's a great community up here. All the professors, instructors, part-time, full-time, classified. And it's just great to talk to everyone up here. Try to find out if they will or won't give towards something here at the college.
Yes. And Kathryn, why you've been on the committee since the very beginning, and what role do you serve?
Well, we do a lot of brainstorming for the themes, so I'm able to contribute to that. Like in the Egyptian one, when we did King Tut, it was my idea to say you can't take it with you.
Yeah. That's right, it was. Building on the pyramids of success, and you might as well give because you can't take it with you.
Take it with you like King Tut did.
Yeah. But both of you have been giving for many years, and what's really wonderful about the Employee Giving Campaign is that you can give to any department or program in the college. And Paul, I don't even think you give to Machine Tool. You give to something totally different, don't you?
No, I have it split. I believe I give to the observatory and Machine Tool Technology. There are so many different areas that we can donate to. We have a brand new softball team that I believe could use some help with the field. And the baseball team, observatory, chemistry lab, biology lab. I mean, there's just so many different areas here that could use some funds for machines or books or whatever.
Operations.
Because the of course the legislature isn't giving us much lately, so
right.
It does help.
Yeah, it does help, doesn't it? It really makes a difference. And Kathryn, what about you? You give to what?
I have a Dr. William E. Clark scholarship that I set up after my dad died, and I encourage a lot of people. I like the personal scholarships that you can do for somebody you want to remember or for whatever reason. Mine was a personal thing. I came from a long line of nurses and doctors, and when my grandmother died, my dad had made this statement that he didn't feel she reached her full potential. So mine was that I wanted to make sure that a student every year that I donate to would reach their full potential.
And that's what's so great about the employee giving is that you can direct it to a wide variety of programs, and it's totally up to the employee what they give to. I mean, we don't tell them what to give to. Give to whatever.
Well, we have a list of what you can give to, and then right at the bottom it says other, so you could actually start your own direction.
How do you feel last year's campaign went? 2009-2010 campaign.
I think it was the best we ever did.
Very well. We're up to 62%.
Yeah, 62% of all the employees at the college give, and that's a huge percentage. And like you've said, you can give to scholarships, emergency student aid, any number of the programs. And so after leading this committee for so many years and being on the committee, what do you give, Paul? I mean, why do you do it?
I like to give back to the community. I've always donated something somewhere. Kathryn and I were talking ASPCA. I always give to the animal shelters and Christmas time for the Santas with the buckets. But here it goes to really good use. And like I say, we're kind of short of funds, and it's nice to be able to give back to the college and the community.
Right. Kathryn?
That was probably my reason, too. So many people have helped me here and given to me. And like the quote you said, that I received so much, I think that you need to give back.
Yeah, thank you. I would just like to thank you both for your service on this very important committee. It's a great committee, and employees also, not only do they get to give to the program of their choice, they get to have a say in how that money is spent. So thank you so much. Looking forward.
I would like to
campaign.
mention one scholarship.
Before
we go off.
We're almost done.
Because when we were talking about what they used it for, Dr. Lucy gave me set up a scholarship a few years ago for her mother, Mary Hartman, and it's used for books. And she gave me quite a bit of money. And working in financial aid, the students come in all stressed out because their grants haven't gone through, some didn't occur, they don't have the money, they need their books, and they need them for the first week of class. And with that Mary Hartman scholarship, I'm able to give those students the money for their books, and then they pay me back when they get their grants, and we have access to that every year.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
I think so.
Well, thank you so much. We'll see you next year. About this time, we'll have you back on the show again, and stay tuned. We'll be right back with Campus Chat. Welcome back to Campus Chat. My name is Helaine Morris. The theme is giving, and we're very fortunate to have with us today two people who are very involved in outreach and giving back to the children of our community. Many of us had a wonderful support system when we were growing up. In fact, the road from kindergarten to college is long, but there are many young people who do not have that support system. And so we're very grateful to have a group called CASA, and which is Court Appointed Special Advocates. And we have 2 volunteers with us today. On your far right is Pat Vazquez, right? Is that right,
Yeah.
Pat? She's a volunteer with CASA of Carson City, and then sitting in the middle is Chrissi Barnett. She is also a volunteer with CASA and also the outreach coordinator. So how nice to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
I always get a lot of emails from Chrissi Barnett, and I was really excited today to finally meet Chrissi, and then I realized I already knew her. I just didn't know her last name was Barnett, and so it was just such a surprise and such a nice surprise, but it's really nice to have you here today.
Thank you.
To talk about CASA and the special work that they do. So we talked about what the acronym means, but it's a national program, and who wants to talk about how it got started and why?
You're looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Well, in 1977, Superior Court Judge David Sukup in Seattle started the program because he was looking for more information for when he had to decide his cases, and he was looking for some independent advice and information. And so he started the program with 50 volunteers, and now there are 50,000.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And so these, and then there's 780,000. This is an amazing, horrible fact. Approximately 780,000 children in the United States are caught up in the court and child welfare mazes because they're unable to live safely at home. I mean, that's a tragic number.
Yeah, it really
and
is.
so what kind of incident might prompt the investigation by the state? I mean, what brings these children into the court maze?
It can be just various things. A teacher noticing a child with a bruise could call and report it, or a neighbor suspecting that there might be some problems going on home, or we've had extreme cases with, there was one in the paper a few years ago about a couple of children walking down the street, that was
horrible.
That was caught, and so it varies on all kinds of levels. Just any person who can suspect that there might be a problem can make a report, and it's anonymous.
So generally some form of abuse
or neglect,
mm-hmm.
and there's they will check out all cases for children under 5, and any cases that they think warrant for older children, and only the most severe cases that are actually proven to have a problem will get removed from the home. A lot of times the division will work with the kids, with the families, and there's services like Ron Wood, Family Resource Center, that supplies services to the families, parenting classes, anger management, substance abuse, anything like that will help, help keep the family together, because,
right.
That's always the ultimate goal, is to keep the family together, always, yeah.
So CASA of Carson City is a branch of the national organization, and you speak for the children in our area. How long has CASA of Carson City been around, and when did it get started?
Well, Judge Roby Willis started the program in 1986, and there was a donation from the Seroptimus International. I think Betty Landis was in charge of that. And then also they had a donation from National CASA to get it started. And there was our present director, Chris Bayer, took over directorship in 1998.
And so how do you think? Have you been successful?
I think so. We now have 50 court cases that are covered by 25 advocates. And it's been just a very successful program.
So how many advocates do you have then now, the 25, or do you have more?
It varies. We are always training new CASA volunteers, and then ones that have been in, for one reason or another, move out of the area, retire, or things like that, they'll drop off. So it varies, but it usually runs pretty consistently at about 25.
And so I see right now you are recruiting and advertising for more volunteers, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
And so why don't you tell us a little bit about the training that's required, and if someone's interested in serving as a court-appointed special advocate, what does it entail, the training and some of the things they're expected to do?
Well, the type of volunteer that we're looking for is someone who has good communication skills, who is kind of a detective at heart, and someone who has the patience to stay with a case for maybe 2 to 3 years.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. And someone also who would be willing to stand up in court and to testify. And so there's kind of a heart for justice involved for this, and also that patience to just stick with it too.
Yeah, what the advocates actually do is we will go and investigate the life of the child, and we will make recommendations based on that investigation to the court for things that the children need. Summer school, if their grades are falling, extra maybe mental health care that they might need. So you go and you talk to all of the people that are involved with the child's life: the parents, grandparents, friends, school teachers, clergy, playmates, parents, and just anyone that you can dig up that might have something to do with the child's life, to get a really complete picture that you can then report back to the judge and the court, so that they know more about what's going on in the child's life and the needs.
So you have children that have been abused or neglected. They finally make it into the court system. That's when CASA steps in.
Right.
At that point, are they officially removed from the family, or could they still be with the family?
Well, yes. When a case is reported to Child Protective Services, they investigate, and sometimes they will remove a child at that point. Sometimes they will just write up a contract with the parents for certain deficiencies that they feel that need to be satisfied. And then if they decide that the child should be removed, then it goes into the court system.
So it's not really a mentorship, but you somewhat mentor them, but you're really, this is some specific information, some specific duties that you have to complete. This is not like I'm going to take you on a field trip.
No, we actually have a court order from the court that says that we are entitled to gather this information from the various areas.
I think that's a key point. And so right now we have people watching who, well, first of all, CASA is pretty much volunteer-based.
Yes,
and
completely.
You're probably always looking for donations to help, aren't you?
Absolutely.
And so the money goes directly to what, operating the volunteers, or?
Training materials, training sessions, support, things like that, because the volunteers are totally non-gratis. They are, gratis. They do not get paid in any way, because that would lend them to be susceptible to coercion of some sort or another. So it's completely on a volunteer basis.
Oh, that's great. And do you have a special event coming up soon, or?
Well, we have a training in September, but I believe this is going to air after that.
This will air in October.
The trainings usually run 3 or 4 times a year. They're 10 weeks, 30 hours total, 3 hours a night for 10 weeks to train. You do have to have a background check and those kind of things, that you have an interview to become a volunteer.
Oh, absolutely.
And, all of that, yeah.
And the training is very thorough too.
Yeah.
We have training in just all areas of kind of child development and abuse and neglect, and then also after that 30 hours of training, we have opportunities for many different kinds of training events.
Continuing education.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I just want to thank both of you too for the work you do for CASA.
Thank you.
And really appreciate you being here, Pat Vazquez and Chrissi Barnett. And if you want to receive more information on CASA, please call 882-6776, and I think we'll have a website link also at the bottom of the screen. So thank you again, and thank you for watching this special edition on giving at Western Nevada College. We'll see you next month.
This has been Campus Chat, a monthly program from Western Nevada College. Campus Chat is made possible by the Western Nevada College Foundation.